For more on what's happening in Niger, I'm joined live via Skype from Dallas, Texas by Steven Nabieu Rogers, a public policy and African governance analyst and a former lecturer at the University of Cape Town, South Africa. Steven, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you so much, Esther. Thanks for letting me speak. I appreciate it. Thanks.
What's your reaction first to the inhumane confinement of Bazoum and his family?
Well, first of all, Esther, let me just start by saying that the situation in Niger is very unfortunate. Military coups or coups of any nature in Africa, as we have seen over the past couple of months, has been very unfortunate. It speaks to this democratic backslide wherein we have seen, militaries coming back to power in Niger, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Guinea, which is neighboring to my country, Sierra Leone. But speaking to what you have just said, having said that, I think it's very, very inhumane and is absolutely should be unacceptable that heads of state, in this case, has been arrested. But there's a silver lining here, and I think that's where we have to go back to. The president, who is currently under arrest, I understand has been also having access to meeting foreign heads of state, including speaking to very high-level military, political leaders here in the United States. So it shows it opens some window in terms of negotiation and how they can actually engage the military government in one hand, but also maintain that the president, who is currently still in the country, by the way, and hasn't been sent out or unfortunately hasn't been killed, as we've seen years back, means there's an opening here for the government to actually negotiate with other stakeholders, both within the African continent, the region of ECOWAS, and as well as international backers here, the US and other international stakeholders. So that's how I would see that, and I think I'm moving forward.
Steven, we know that the regional bloc, ECOWAS, is going to have a second meeting tomorrow, to try, it's meant to have the Niger's junta, return Bazoum to power. What new strategy can ECOWAS employ this time to heed the warning of the international community and the calls to return Bazoum to the presidential palace?
ECOWAS has been a very success story in Africa, in the sense that we know what they did in Sierra Leone when they removed Johnny Paul Koroma in 1997, and how they were able to help restore democracy back in Liberia after decades of fighting. Now, having said that, and they used ECOMOG, which is the military wing, and now what the buzz in town is ECOMOG is being reconstituted to reverse the trend in Niger. And I see where this is coming from, in part because we don't want this democratic backslide continuing, as it has happened in other parts of the region. But there are options here. I think military intervention in any country in West Africa, and in this case Niger, might be a very difficult thing to see how it's going to end. It could easily remove the government in power, because clearly ECOMOG, if it's backed by Nigeria itself with its huge military power, would be successful. But normally wars are not ended with just removing the president in power. It also means whether there will be stability in the region. Right. And because of all of what we have seen, and not a very general consensus, especially from those who are already being led by military officers, I think there is need for ECOWAS to really think about this very deeply before it commits military in Niger.
Steven, we're going to have to leave it there for now. Thank you very much for your insight.